Hey, so I want to talk about adoption again for a minute. I know we talked about it a little bit for the other day, but I want to talk about it. But I'm also going to do Peter Roth again. Hey, so on my last video, somebody had commented and she said, "Do you not see the difference after, like at the end?" And then I said, kind of, but I don't really see a lot of difference. I guess in myself. I don't rewatch my videos like I told y'all before. I don't edit my videos. I think that it's important to be authentic and true. I think there's so much of, what do you call it? I don't, God bless it, I can't even, filters, thank you, today, and there's so much people being fake that anyway, okay, so we're going to put this on, but I want to talk about this. So, some of y'all don't know, some of y'all do know that I've given up 2 children for adoption. One when I was 13 because I was 14 when I had him because I was assaulted by 7 dudes when I was 13, and then the other later in life when she was a year old. So I actually had her for a whole year. Nobody made me. It was a choice that I made because of where I was at in life. And you will either think that I'm the most selfish person or the most selfless person. And either way, it's okay. Honestly, it's both. I was very selfish to do it because I wanted to do things that I was doing, not good things. And it was very selfless because I wanted her to have the best life possible. So, my son, when he turned 18, he found me. Now, when I was 13 and I found out I was pregnant, mind you, we don't have the internet. We didn't have all the things that we have today, okay? We didn't have all the resources available that we have today. So I was kind of dumb about some things. I'm not saying that I would have made different choices as far as like the adoption. I don't know. But I think the adoption would have went differently. So when I told my mom that I was pregnant, I was standing in the driveway and I told her, and yeah, she was mad. Didn't matter what happened. She was just mad. So she sent me to a home for, it was called Hugs, a home for unwed girls that were pregnant. And she would come get me every single weekend. And then one day she comes to me and she's like, "Okay, we're going to adopt this baby out." And I was like, okay. So, I didn't know anything about the family. It was a woman that went to the church that we went to that set it up. I guess that she knew the family. She did. She knew the family. I never met the family. None of those things. So, I guess the family went to the church that we went to. So, I'm guessing my mom had met them. Well, anyway, so when I had the baby, when I had him, I was 14, went to labor, and then I delivered him, and I never saw him again until, he was 18. And he apparently was raised in a home with a narcissistic mother, like mine. I think that there's actually some more that's happened that I'm kind of finding out now, but that's for him to tell. So anyway, so he was raised in a not good home, right? She was mean. She was all these things. So when he was 18 and he found me, he definitely has felt like he's always had a void in his life, and so he was looking for me to fill it. And that, even now, I can't fill a void. But at that time, I definitely couldn't. I didn't even have myself together. So, but we hung out. We talked all the time. I would see him all the time. His mom did not like me from the beginning. She felt like I was a threat. But that just wasn't the case. But I understood it. And so she told me to my face she hated me. Just different things. So, between him being adopted and being raised by a narcissistic mom, he's made choices in his life. He's made choices with, smugs, rugs, whatever you call it, right? And destructive patterns. He is now very controlling. He is very much a narcissist now. He's actually physically, mentally, verbally abusive. Not to me, because I won't put up with that. Even if I would, my husband would never put up with that, okay? But to those around him. So he's been controlled all of his life, and so now he's controlling, trying to, others. Okay, so then my daughter, I met that family. Like, I was able to meet that family, and they were just the sweetest people in the world. I will say what I told you in the very, very beginning. The only thing that I asked was that they did not change her name. And they changed her name. I don't get that. I'll never just say, well, that's okay, I understand, because I really don't. So, but she was raised in a very loving home. She was raised, and she graduated high school. She went to college. She now is married, has a baby. She reached out to me when I had first left Todd. Before Todd, I didn't even know who I was. After Todd, I definitely didn't know who I was, right? Because I just got beat up for 6 years. So I had no idea what was happening. I was very angry, very sad. She came at me, not in a good way, and I responded back not in a good way. And so at first we didn't start off good. I've never met her. I've never talked to her. I've talked to her in messages. So about a year later, she came back and we started again. She apologized, but I apologized because she's the child in this. Her actions should never cause that kind of reaction out of me. But I've learned that later in life. Like, I'm 49 years old, and I've learned so much in the last 9 years. Like, I've wasted so much of my life. However, I wouldn't change a minute in my life, because if I change a second, if I go a different direction, then I may not have met my husband. Okay, so that's the reality of adoption, right? Just because some people want to adopt a baby doesn't mean they should. Just because some people are mothers don't mean that they're good mothers. Like, my mom should never have raised kids. She adopted my two cousins, second cousins, after their mom passed away. She adopted them, and she treated them the same way she treated us, if not worse, because they were two girls. It was just awful. And she's older, and she treated them the exact same way. So, see little white flecks? You just got to get them off your face. So, adoption is tricky. But I'll tell you this. I would have 5 children. I've had an abortion, I've had a miscarriage, and I've given birth to 3 children. I'm not for abortion. But I'm not telling you not to. But I am telling you it's a baby, you know. And so I'm not telling you not to, because there's some things that I understand, but I'm also not telling you to do it, because the emotional trauma that goes with it, it's worse than an adoption, honestly. But I think that there's so many of us that have adopted our babies, and we're left holding this bag of, like, what now? Was I a stucky person? Did I do this for the right reasons? Maybe. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. You know? Oh, who knows? Only you know. But you just have to hope and pray that that child grows up in a loving home. Because, see, now, like my son, my oldest son, like, he's, you know, he doesn't know where he's going in this life. And I just pray that he figures it out. But, you know, my daughter, like, she has a fantastic life. But I will tell you that in the end, you got to stop beating yourself up for things that you can't control, for things you can't undo, for things that are they're just done. Anyways, so what do you think? Okay, so here's what's going to happen. I got to go out to my microgreen shed today. I got to get that together. And this stuff says that it lasts all day long, and that it'll withstand the heat, you know, all of that stuff. You can put moisturizer on, but not in spaces that you've put the stuff. So I can't put moisturizer on my face. I don't wear makeup. Not really ever. I have sometimes. Maybe I'll try to again. We could probably do that. Well, anyway, so we'll see how it lasts later today. Okay, bye.